No, I mean, the crooks get better.
I was about to say, how are they so smart?
You
You
know,
think?
they're a little bit like, they're a little bit like the coronavirus, COVID-19. They're out there mutating and changing. And ever since I've been to the agency in the late 90s, these tax scams have been out there. We had slavery reparations going on, in the late 90s, which was a reincarnation of an earlier scam. And what we've seen is these scams over time, they're variations. And we're seeing that take place now. The difference now, what's kind of turned this into a bit of a pandemic in terms of the scam issue, is social media. Used to be, these scams were kind of limited and kind of underground. Now you got people out on TikTok, throwing this crazy stuff around, and people believe it.
Yeah.
And I mean, these are smart, well-meaning people that get caught up in like, oh, I'm entitled to $10,000 free if I do the fuel tax credit. But the problem is they're not talking to like legitimate tax professionals. And that's part of what we want to do. We want to work more closely with the tax pro community, make sure we kind of are encouraging people to go get trusted advice and not take your tax advice off maybe somebody who's offering a get rich quick scheme out on social media. Yeah.
And
Or
I think you just put a coalition together of some various groups.
Yeah, this is one of the most interesting things we have going on at the IRS right now. We have had at a couple periods where we've joined together with the states, state tax agencies, with the software industry, with groups like Paget, as well as others in the tax professional community. And we kind of joined forces to do a united front. And we've agreed to basically combat tax scams and schemes together because we all realize this is a growing threat. For well-meaning taxpayers are being taken advantage of. And if you get tied up in one of these schemes, there's a lot of downstream impacts.
Yeah.
You don't get a refund you're entitled to. If the refund does get out, you face penalties and interest if we come knocking. And there's also a threat to the U.S. Treasury. I mean, these scams and schemes cost, collectively the nation money. So I'm really excited that the industry and the states and the IRS have agreed to work together on this.
Yeah,
So
and all that time that's spent on chasing these things down keeps you from doing what you want to do better.
or utilizing resources that could be spent in someplace somewhere else. And I'm sure part of it's educating, getting the real knowledge out. But are the states, are y'all sharing information like to run systems to try to identify it faster? Is that, yeah.
Yeah, well, this effort is an offshoot of what we call the Security Summit effort
Okay.
that people may not be familiar with.